Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 21 of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in social media platform. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Disowned by Everyone over on Anime King 2. And enjoy that guys. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto Learn the clone secret in the beginning, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well. And on this channel I post a new episode of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support. And yeah, without further ado, ready to begin this new episode. Begin the intro. So the last part we left off as the group was attacked by the snow ninjas, as Naruto faced off against the bulky one, as Sasuke faced off against the girl, as Kakashi faced off against the leader, as Naruto completely beat the crap out of the man, knocking him out, as the entire glacier erupted, forcing all of them to retreat from it, as the girl Fubiki grabbed the man and jumped away as well, saving him in the process. So with that the group headed off as they were talking, as Sandia explained to everyone as Kakashi told them that she was Princess Kazahana. She was the one that he took all those years ago, he thought to himself. As Koyuki came in there and told him that there is no point, as there is no point of anything else, she said. It doesn't matter what they do, there is no hope. As they continued on with their journey, but Koyuki ran away, as Naruto went to find her. As she was walking for a long time until she twisted her ankle and fell down. As the next thing she knew, she woke up as she was being carried. As she was being carried by the same boy, that blonde hair boy. As he started to talk to her, he also talked about his life as well. As she asked him why would he care about a village that treated him so badly in the first place. As the both of them kept on talking until the railing started to shake. As the train was coming, as Koyuki thought that she was going to die. But the next thing she knew, she was outside a distance away. As she asked him what happened. As she was confused. As Sandy and all of the samurais came down. The train then started to fire off multiple kunais towards them, but Naruto appeared in a flash by his sword and placed a seal on the ground and pulled all of the kunais down. Naruto saw what happened, but he allowed it to happen as Koyuki was taken away, as Sandia called out for her. As Naruto then started to step on air, as Kakashi watched Naruto as he sent a note down towards Kakashi and told him that he would meet him at the palace. As Naruto was using the wind to burst himself up there. As Naruto got on the airship, as he allowed himself to be captured, with the device placed on him. When Naruto woke up back, he was in a cell across from Koyuki. Koyuki was beyond surprised when he simply ripped through the chains, as he then channeled chakra into his hand, as lightning started to course through them as he break the bars overloading the system, knocking out the two guards, as he break her bars as well, as he held out his hand as she took it, as the both of them started to head off, as they came upon Kakashi as Naruto already knew it was him, as Kakashi took off his disguise, as the group made their way towards Dodo, as Naruto gave him back Koyuki, her necklace. As they made it there, Sakura and Sasuke was there as well. As Dodo called for Koyuki as she went over to him. As she then stabbed him, but he had his armor on. Naruto kicked him away, as he landed right beside Koyuki. But before he could do anything, the entire ceiling caved in on them, as he was the man that survived earlier, along with the girl as well. As Naruto told Kakashi and the other two to take care of that, as he headed off. As they finally arrived, as Dodo was pissed as it wasn't a treasure, it was a generator. As Naruto arrived there, as Dodo was going to kill this brat, Koyuki told Naruto that she believed in him, as Naruto dodged all of Dodo's black dragon. As Dodo then released a lot more that came crashing down on Naruto. As he laughed, he finally got rid of that brat. But then Naruto came out of the air with a massive Rasengan, as he drive it down on Dodo, destroying his armor. As the place was entirely melted away from the snow, as the place became the land of spring, as Koyuki took up her rightful seat as the daimyo of the country, as Naruto went to visit her, as he asked for a kiss and saving the princess. She was about to kiss him on the cheek, but he turned his head just in time as he kissed her right on the lips. She didn't know why, but she didn't fight it, as the both of them went into a makeout session right there, and it was hot and heated as Team 7 came in and saw everything, as Kakashi got all the proof that he needed to report back to Jiraiya. As with that, the group said their goodbyes, as they had to stop at an inn for the night, as Sasuke and Naruto share a room, as Sakura had her own room and Kakashi had his own room. And then a knock on the door came, as the two members are there, none other than Itachi and Kisame. But what they saw shocked them. So yeah guys, so it's basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. Kisame stepped back in utter shock, and so did Itachi as well. Itachi said Kisame, as Itachi had his Sharingan activated. This is not an illusion, Itachi said, as he was confused as hell. What is this, he said. But this is impossible, said Kisame. They're supposed to be dead. As a man stepped out of the room, he had long orange hair. He was a bit on the heavier side, as he had green markings on his face, like triangles coming up towards his nose, as he had a sash from his shoulder going down. He was wearing a coat with black pants and grey sandals that went all up. As Kisame couldn't believe what he was seeing. It's been a long time, Kisame. But, Fugoki, you're dead, Kisame said. That's what you thought. Fugoki, Suikazan. As Kisame was utterly shocked. This is the man that he killed and took Samihata away from. But how was he here? How was he alive? The next person that Itachi looked on, he was completely shocked, as this man's face went down in Konoha histories. As for someone like Itachi who knew a lot, he knew exactly who this man was. But how? And if this man was here, who was under that mask? Because none other than the legendary Uchiha Madara stepped out of the room. As he looked at Itachi. So a Uchiha as well. If you're here, that means you're him. Itachi Uchiha, am I right? The one that is known to wipe out the entire Uchiha clan. Tell me, did you do it for the power? For the sake of increasing your eyes? To become stronger? Do you want to live up to the great Uchiha name that his mother Uchiha Madara asks, as he stepped forward, making Itachi step back because Itachi did not understand. He had his Sharingan on, he couldn't see any trickery. So what the hell was this? This wasn't a transformation. How are you here? Said Itachi as he didn't understand. You, of all persons, know that this world is simply an illusion. Death. With the eyes that we possess, death can only be an illusion, Itachi. Do you really think I died all those years ago? But if you're here then. As Itachi was really confused, then who the hell was that masked guy? As Fugoki looked at Kisame, I would like my sword back now. And who told you that I would give it back to you? Asked Kisame. As Fugoki looked around. This place is too small to fight. Let's take this outside, shall we? Yes, indeed, said Madara. I'm looking for a good dance, he said. As they walked in the room and jumped through the window. As Itachi and Kisame looked at each other. This is a joke, right? Asked Kisame. Something is off here. I don't know exactly what it is, but not even my Sharingan can see through what kind of deception that is. But this can't be real. And if it is, if that guy is truly Uchiha Madara, who faced off against the first Hokage, can we really go up against him? I assure you, that man is not Uchiha Madara, said Itachi. For certainly know of that, something was off, but that man was not him. This is the room that the Kyuubi Jinchuriki came in, right? Yes, said Kisame. So, is he behind this? Is he behind this illusion? But an illusion that to be so powerful that can even trick your Sharingan. Let's go see, said Itachi, as he was curious himself as he went and jumped through the window as well. The trail led them to a forest. I'm surprised, Madara says. He was sitting down. You took your time though. Thinking about whether to come here or not, Madara asks. You can drop the act now, said Itachi. We're not falling for it. Quite talkative, are you? Probably you're just curious, said Madara, because usually you never thought this much. Have we met before? Asked Itachi. I said too much, thought Madara. So Kisame, ready to hand over back Samehata to me, Fukuki asks. No way in hell that is going to happen. Will I hand Samehata back over to a dead man? Shidori, said a voice, as Sasuke burst out of the bushes as he rushed towards Itachi, ready to impale Itachi right through the heart. The moment he struck Itachi burst into crows, as the crows flew off and reformed somewhere else. The two dead ninjas slapped their forehead. For the love of God, Sasuke, what were you thinking? I told you not to do anything stupid, and yet still you gone and pulled something like this. Did you really think that was going to catch him, Sasuke? Sasuke grunted as he glared over at Itachi. Suddenly, Fukuki then pulled off a seal off his forehead, as a burst of chocolate later, and Naruto stood there, who exploded into smoke, as Madara reached up and pulled off the seal as well, showing the real original Naruto. I'm impressed, said Itachi. Not only did you know that we were coming for you, but you also set up this trap. Something that even messed with my eyes. It seems you're not as stupid as we thought. So, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki was behind this, huh? Said Kisame with a toothy grin. I must say I'm surprised. How did you manage to find that piece of information about me though? I have my sources, said Naruto. So, Itachi and Kisame, two ex-strong criminals. I wonder, what do the both of you want with little old me? You must come with us, Naruto-kun, said Itachi. Oh, and why is that? A big talker this one, huh? Meanwhile, Sakura got up as she went to go and use the bathroom. After getting back, she found something strange. Well, the thing is, she wasn't hearing anything at all. When she just came here, she was hearing a lot of crickets outside. But now the place was extremely silent. As she went to go and open her door. On opening it, she saw that Naruto and Sasuke's door was wide open. What's going on, she said, as she looked inside to see the place empty, with the window wide open. As she walked over to Kakashi's door. Kakashi-sensei, she said, as she knocked on the door, but she heard nothing. She then started to turn the doorknob, but the door was locked as she tried to open it. Meanwhile, inside, Kakashi saw the doorknob turn as he got up. He was currently reading his book. As he opened the door, Sakura, didn't you hear me, Sensei? She asked. No, he said. As he stepped out of his room, what's going on? He asked. As he noticed Naruto and Sasuke's door wide open. Where are they? He asked. I don't know. I heard the place extremely quiet, so I decided to check it out. And I saw that. As she pointed at the floor, there was a strange ceiling tag on the floor. As Kakashi went down to look at it. This is a sound barrier, he said, that completely eradicates the sound wherever you put it. Something's going on, he says. He looked around as he saw another seal on the wall. This one was different. A very unique seal, as he didn't know exactly what it was. You stay here and wait and see if they come back. I'll go check what's happening, he said, as he headed through the window, as he was worrying, thinking that some missing ninjas came after Naruto for his bounty, and Sasuke got caught up in it as well. Even though that Naruto can handle himself, it would be quite difficult to face off against the army at this night, and in the shadows, as he quickly made his way. Meanwhile, Itachi was surprised as Sasuke was just calm, staring at him as he thought that Sasuke would just charge in blindly. As Naruto walked over and picked up a stone. So, you guys after me, he said as he flicked the stone in his hand. Yes. And it is in your best interest to come with us, before you get too hurt, said Itachi. I didn't see you acting this brave a minute ago when you thought I was Madara. I must praise you on that again, said Itachi. Creating a unique seal like that, I'm surprised. But, it's time for you to come with us, Naruto, he said. Oh really? And what exactly do you want me? You know that I'm not gay, right? Naruto said. The kid had jokes, said Kisame. Oh come on, fish face, said Naruto. You, out of all of us here, will be most likely introduced, given how you look and all. What's that supposed to mean, said Kisame. I mean, have you looked at a mirror? Naruto asked. Kisame clenched Samehata. If there was one thing he hated, was when people talk about his, well, his features. Oh, what are you gonna do about it? Naruto asked. Are you gonna attack me? As Kisame grunted. Alright, Itachi. I'm not gonna kill him, but at least I can mess him up a bit. As Kisame rushed forward. Kisame, stop, Itachi said. What is it? As Itachi had his Sharingan activated. So you saw it, said Naruto. I thought your Sharingan would be able to see it. But I guess I was false on that, even though I tried to make that small as possible. Hey, what's going on? Do not move. There's a dome of wind, blades producing all around him. His master over wind is something else. To be able to manipulate it to this extent, if it isn't for my Sharingan, I wouldn't be able to see it. How are you doing this? Said Itachi, as he was clearly surprised. I guess I can move it, Naruto said. As he waved his hand, Kisame moved, said Itachi. Kisame jumped back, but he was not fast enough as his body got several major cuts, slicing into him deeply. He winced out in pain because he didn't know where he was getting hit from, as his body was thrown violently by a burst of wind as he smashed headfirst into a tree. As he grunted in pain, several cuts over his body. He held on to Samihata as his body started to heal. The tailless tailed beast, Naruto said. Even having chakra of that magnitude to match up to a tailed beast, I must say I'm impressed. To be fighting a swordsman like you is an honor. I suppose I can put your head in a fish tank once I'm done, as a souvenir of the time that I fought Kisame. You have jokes, kid. I'm gonna make you regret saying all of them by the end of the day. Oh really now, said Naruto. Hey Sasuke, do you think that you can handle that one? This is my burden to bear. Stay out of it, Sasuke said. Hey come on, I was just asking, said Naruto. So, do you think you can handle me, little brother? Asked Itachi. As Sasuke said nothing to Itachi. What's wrong? You seem awfully quiet. Despite from your first attack earlier, you haven't done anything since. Sasuke narrowed his eyes as he could see that Itachi was ready for anything. He was on his guard even though he didn't look it. As he realized that Naruto was right, thinking about things now after Naruto defeated him with such ease. How could he really go up against Itachi? There was no chance of him winning this battle, but if he could get a few hits in. As he went through hand sign, Shidori Senbon, he said, as he held out his hand, lightning started to crackle on it, before dozens of Shidori Senbon started to send towards Itachi. Itachi went through hand sign, fire style. Fireball jutsu, he says. He fired off a massive fireball that consumed the attack. Meanwhile, so Fish Face, what do you say, you're ready there to ask? Kisame dashed forward as he swiped at Naruto. You know, I'm wondering, how do you look like a fish? As Naruto was now behind Kisame, his back turned to him. I mean, did your mother had sex with a fish or something? Or did your father? Oh my god, Naruto said. Did your father rape a shark? Naruto asked. Kisame swung around Samihata, but Naruto was gone again. I mean, that must be bad. To be born from a shark. No wonder you look that way, said Naruto. Kisame grunted as he went through hand sign. Water style, water bullet, he said, as he fired off several water bullets. But Naruto simply vanished again and reappeared. To born from a shark. That must be strange. I wonder how was your life when you were younger? Did people call you fish boy and all that? It must be really bad, Naruto said. Kisame looked at Naruto with his anger barely holding in. I'm gonna make you regret saying all of this by the end of the day. You just watch, brat. Well, I suppose it's time that we stop playing around. You're one of those members who are after me, so I suppose it's time that I kill you before anything could escalate even further. Do you really think that you have the power to kill me? Do you know who I am, Kisame asks. Well, you have a summary, but do you know exactly what I can do? Yeah, I do. And I'm not that impressed, Naruto said. As a poof, his white mask appears, he put it on. As he stood there for a few seconds, Kisame simply smirked. Now that you got a mask, you think that you can defeat me? Show how stupid you are. Well then, why don't we see about that, said Naruto. As his body then blurred away, Kisame saw several flashes appearing around him, as he couldn't tell where the hell he was going. As Naruto was just reappearing and flashing out of the distance, Kisame then felt a nasty gash on his back, as he turned around wincing. What the hell? The next thing he knew was sliced across the face, as blood started to pour. The next thing he knew, several kunais were buried in his arm, before a brutal kick smashed his back so hard, he was sent sailing into several trees. Kisame grunted. It was only because of years of training and experience. As he was able to duck, his head nearly got sliced off. But a brutal kick smashed into his jaw as his body was sent down into a tunnel into the ground. The next thing he knew, Naruto appeared right above him, Rasengan, Naruto said. He quickly brought up Samihata, but Naruto vanished. As he reappeared distance away, the Rasengan already gone. Kisame picked up himself. Seems that I underestimated you, said Kisame. But Naruto said nothing as he still had his mask on. As he placed his hands together, 4 clones then appear, mixing with Naruto that made 5. As each of them had their blades out. Unknowing to Kisame, Naruto has been marking the ground around him as he was flashing and appearing. As he was able to mark at least 20 spots already. It's no time for the slaughter. All of the clones then blurred away. Kisame was completely taken aback and unable to do anything as several flashes appear around him. Deep gashes slicing into his arms, slicing into his legs. He winks out in pain as he was cut straight across the forehead. His body was being torn to shreds as he swung down Samihata, but none of them came. The next thing he knew, one of Naruto appeared on Samihata and swung towards his neck. He pulled back his neck just in time, but a cut sliced right on it as blood came down. He then turned Samihata as spikes came from Samihata, stabbing Naruto in his foot, but he poofed away. He then jumped away before his head was sliced off once again, but he jumped right into one of Naruto that smashed his fist into his face. Kisame was taken aback by that. This kid was so small and yet his body was sent sailing before a bone-kicking punch was slammed into his back that jerked him as he felt the air knocked out of him. His body was buried down into the ground. The next thing he knew, he heard a swirling sound as he looked up. 2 Narutos coming down fast with a Rasengan in their hands. Kisame went through hand sign. Great exploding water colliding wave, he said as he spewed water from his mouth. As Naruto flashed away, the water covered the entire area. Over towards Itachi and Sasuke, the both of them had to jump up in the air before landing on the water. As Sasuke looked over at Itachi, Sasuke was huffing. He could see now there was no way he could win this fight, as Itachi wasn't even fighting seriously. You're still not strong enough, little brother. You still don't have the hate, the desire to kill me yet. You're still too weak. Sasuke glared at him, but he didn't say anything, trying to keep himself calm. It was using everything that he had to keep himself calm. But for once, he was listening to Naruto and trying to do his best to hold himself back. Meanwhile, Kakashi felt the tremors. This force was large, as he finally felt something. But something was off because he didn't sense any chakra signature at all. As he came up on a tree, he saw one of those same tags. To his surprise, the same tag that he saw back at the hotel, with the same strange flowing jutsu sign that he didn't understand. But he had to hurry as he headed off. Meanwhile, Kisame was diving in the water as his wounds were starting to heal. The kid really did a number on him, sliced up his body. But this is where he will get him. Kisame went through hand sign as several sharks formed in the water as Naruto was on top of it with his clones. The sharks came out of the water as they grabbed the Naruto clones and devoured them underneath as they poofed away, leaving the real one left behind as Kisame smiled, as it seems like he left the real one for himself. He burst out of the water and swung Samihata towards Naruto, as Samihata tear right through Naruto's body, blood splattering all over Kisame's face. But Kisame's eyes went wide as he realized he messed up. He wasn't supposed to kill the Jinjuli. But suddenly, the blood vanished. Rasengan, he heard! He turned himself just in time, but he still got the effect as the Rasengan grind into his shoulder, smashing him deeper into the water, blowing out piece of his shoulder as he cried out in pain as the water went into his lungs. He was pushed deeper inside as Naruto burst out of the water looking down, as Kisame grunted as blood was now flowing up to the top of the water. How could one kid be this good? He was currently in his element. How could this kid be doing this to him? As Naruto then flashed away, Naruto flashed over to a distance as he saw Sasuke still fighting. As he placed hands together as a clone appeared, but the clone simply vanished. I told you, this is my fight, said Sasuke. Yeah, and you're not in a good condition. Hey, Itachi, Naruto said, as Itachi looked at Sasuke. See you next time. I suggest you run. Why? Itachi asks. Oh, because I'm about to kill your partner. And Sasuke is the one that wants to kill you, so I don't want to take that away from him. As Itachi narrowed his eyes, what can you possibly do to kill Kisame? Well, currently he's lying down in the water face first. He's not dead yet, but in a few seconds, yeah, he will be. As Naruto grabbed Sasuke and flashed away. As Itachi didn't know why, but he felt a strange feeling like something bad was going to happen. As he quickly moved away from the water. Meanwhile, Kakashi was stopped as a blur appeared right in front of him. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto, what the hell is going on? What happened? I'm just a clone, the boss over there fighting Kisame and Itachi. What? I must know. He's gonna be lighting this place up any second now. You just have to stay right here. Suddenly, a sword landed right on the ground. As a flash appeared. As it was Sasuke with another clone. Sasuke, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, Sasuke said. What is the dope doing? Sasuke asked. He looked at the clone. You guys might want to back away. Suddenly, the wind started to pick up as all the trees started to howl. Kisame came out of the water as he was now on top of the surface. To his surprise, the kid was flying. As Naruto was in the air, his arms extended outwards. As Itachi was watching Naruto from a safe distance. What the hell? As he felt and saw the amount of power being generated with his Sharingan. If Kisame got that full brunt. Kisame, he shouted, get out of there. You will not survive that attack. Kisame, hearing that from Itachi, he knew that this was going to be bad. But the water is all around. As he saw Naruto's hands sparkling with lightning. As the wind started to howl even more, the water started to twist like a tornado was being formed in the center. As Kisame's body started being pulled violently, the water was twirling into the center, pulling his body there. As Naruto's two hands started cracking with lightning, his entire body seeming supercharged. As the dark night sky got illuminated with a bright flash of light. As all that went down Naruto's palm, a small ball of pure, chaotic energy was just floating there like a small little eye, with lightning crackling around it. Storm release. Eye of the storm, said Naruto. As he extended his arm forward, the thing produced a pale, white lightning with great force. The moment it hit the water, the entire thing exploded with so much force. The entire hotel that they were staying at the inn shook violently. As Sakura fell over, wondering what the heck was going on, everyone was alerted. Everyone that was sleeping fell off of their bed. The entire forest was shook. Kakashi and Sasuke were blown away as Kakashi extended the wire and grabbed Sasuke as he held onto a tree. But the tree was rooted up out of the ground and blown away as well. Even Itachi was sent sailing as he flipped away. A bright beam of light then consumed the entire area. Before it died down, all of the water was vaporized, leaving nothing behind. It was completely gone. As Naruto huffed in mid-air, the wind leaving him as he went down on one knee. That shit took a lot out of me, Naruto said. As his hand touched the ground, he had to remove it because he was zapped. I guess the ground is still a bit filled with current. As Naruto looked at the chaos that he caused, there was a massive trench, so wide that it went on for a long while. All of the trees in the area was completely gone. The trench went straight down. You couldn't even see the end of it from right here, as it was just rubble and cinders from the attack. You know that technique of yours could have leveled an entire village, or a smaller one, if you had pointed outward, said Kurama. Yeah, I know, said Naruto. That was one of my more destructive abilities. Haven't used it in a while though. Well, the first time here I'm using it. But I tried a smaller version, the Forest of Death, and it was still kind of chaotic. So I just couldn't use it around my friends because they might get hurt as well. But seeing that I got them off a safe distance, along with Kakashi and Itachi, it's not his time to die yet. As Naruto saw the torn Akatsuki cloak, well, pieces of it. Small pieces because the rest was ripped up to pieces. I wonder if that killed him. What do you mean? That completely erased him, said Kurama. I don't think so, said Naruto. Itachi warned him before the attack happened. He could have found some way to escape. But it's still not bad, said Naruto. What do you mean, said Kurama. Well, now that this has happened, Jiraiya will convince the third to let me go on a training trip with him. When I'm out on the road, I have free movement to do what I want and get the information necessary. to hurry up and end some things before they escalate too further. Because Konoha will not be destroyed this time, Naruto said. But after that, I doubt that Akatsuki will be coming after me for any time now. They will stay low for a while and try to gain information. And this will be the perfect time for Jiraiya to take me on a training trip, Naruto said. He then saw Kakashi landed. As Kakashi looked around, his one eye opened in shock, as he still couldn't believe what the hell just happened. When he heard that Naruto was, well, proficient in his elemental control, he never knew it was to this extent, as he looked at all the destruction and chaos that Naruto caused. Naruto, are you alright? He asked. Because something like this must have took a lot of chakra. Yeah, said Naruto. Just a bit winded, that's all. But I'm fine though, he said. Are you guys alright? Yeah, said Kakashi. What the hell happened? He asked. I'll explain it later, Naruto said. After I get some well-needed rest. After using the Harushin so much against Kisame. And not to mention activating Sage Mode in that battle. It had took a toll on his body, and this destructive technique. His body still needs to mature. He's still too young to use some of his more destructive abilities that could bring nations to their knees. Yes, his body was still needed to grow a bit more. Need to mature. It's still too young. A distance away, as Itachi was by himself. He still couldn't believe what just happened. That technique. The boy was just... No, that was beyond what he thought that would happen. He saw the amount of chakra, but he never expected that it would escalate to that. He was just... He couldn't find the words. To think that the boy was so young and able to do this already. Well, he shouldn't expect anything less from the son of Minato Namikaze. The man was a prodigy after all. And no one learned to have him, the Harushin. And not to mention this destructive tendency that he has. Things will be a lot harder to lay a hand on him, as he wondered if Kisame was truly dead. Before he could go any further, the crown broke open in front of him, as Samihata came out of it. As it was dragging Kisame along with its, well, handle that was wrapped around his arm like a tail. Kisame, Itachi says. He went over. Kisame's right arm was completely incinerated, as his right half was in bad shape. But it started to regrow. Chakra was coming out of Samihata. As Itachi just watched as the man's limbs started to regrow rather slowly. How did you survive? Kisame's voice was raspy. Look, I guess. But Samihata here managed to absorb some of that chakra from the technique, including my water style, to give me this chakra that I need now to get back into top shape, because if I didn't, I would have surely been dead. But I dive underground at the last moment. I dig so far through the ground, blasting my way through, but the attack still came after me, incinerating my right arm. That kid is surely something else, he says. He coughed up a glob of blood as he fell face first down into it. Kisame, don't worry. I won't die just yet. And besides, I need to have a rematch with that kid. He caught me off guard there. Next time, I won't be taking things so easy. As Kisame lie down there, he was still in bad, extremely bad shape. As Itachi just looked up in the sky. Time skipped. Sakura was outside the Hokage's office. She didn't know why she has to stay out here. She was a part of the team as well, so why did they kick her out? Saying that they have to talk about something important and she's not involved. As she pouted. Meanwhile, inside, Jiraiya, Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Sasuke and Naruto was inside as well. Seeing that Sasuke was there, they want to hear Sasuke's side of it as well. As I was saying, said Naruto, Kisame, and Itachi came after me. They said that they needed me for something, but I didn't know what it is. Akatsuki, said Jiraiya. Akatsuki? Yes. They're a group of S-rank missing names after Jinchurikis. So they're after what inside of you? Sasuke asked. He looked at Naruto. The group looked at Sasuke rather surprised. Oh, don't worry, I told him, said Naruto. As Sarutobi looked at Sasuke, you know what Naruto has inside of him? Yeah, Dope told me a long time ago. What about your other teammate? Asked Sarutobi. Nah, said Naruto, she doesn't need to know anything for now. So what were you saying about Akatsuki or saying? Yes, a group of S-rank ninjas. I started to hear the report recently. I was coming back here to inform you about them myself, but I never knew that they would attack you so quickly. It seems like time frame has moved up. But how? How were you able to get by the both of them? Kakashi, I know you were there, but those two are S-rank ninjas. And not to mention Kisame going by the title of Tailless Tail Beast. He has a lot of chakra. Chakra add up to Naruto's chakra. Well, I didn't do anything. As Sarutobi narrowed his eyes, what do you mean by that? It was all Naruto here. As they turned towards Naruto. Well, you see, I knew I had to go big or go home. So I kind of incinerated the entire place. What do you mean by that? Asked Sarutobi. Well, remember I told you I have a lot more destructive techniques. Techniques that can destroy a smaller village? Yeah. Well, I kind of used one of those. Don't worry, no one got hurt. And I managed to get the others away. But I used it on Kisame though. I don't know if he's dead or alive. Well, if a technique incinerates the entire place, why would he be alive? Well, Itachi did warn me before the technique happened. He saw the amount of chakra I was using up with his Sharingan. And if those guys are as powerful and crafty as they seem, I don't know if I killed him with that one. Jiraiya shook his head. Kid going up against two S-rank ninjas and managed to step out of it. Completely fine. Well, I knew that something like this was going to happen. That is why I was going to talk to you about Naruto's training trip. Training trip, said Kakashi. Yes, I want to take Naruto for 3 years out of the village and train him. Judging from the skills that he has now, by the time we return, he's going to be able to take on S-rank ninjas to defend himself if he's alone out there on the battlefield. Are you sure this is wise and right now? Asked Sarutobi as he looked at Jiraiya. What if they come after you out there? I think that was a test shot for them to try and see if they can come after Naruto. And after what the kid has shown, I don't believe that they will come anytime soon. And if they are after the other Bichus, they will be going after them as well. So this is a good chance for us to go to other nations, except the Hidden Stone, and warn them that your Jinchurikis might be taken, seeing that the Raikage and you are not on bad levels. And, well, we can go to the Hidden Sand and Kira as well to talk to them. I can take the kid there while on the training trip. And he needs to be on a level, so if they does come back for him if he's alone, he can handle himself quite well. As you've seen, he's already able to make them flee. A few more years of training and he should be able to take them on fully, and even kill the both of them. Well, Naruto, what do you think about this? Sarutobi asked. Well, if it's gonna help me get stronger, I'm all up for it, said Naruto. But what about Sasuke? As Sarutobi looked towards him. Sasuke? Yes, said Naruto. If I go off and get all that strong, he's gonna be too jealous. And I can't have a jealous Sasuke behind me. Sasuke grunted as he glared at Naruto. You see? He's already glaring at me, said Naruto. So why don't you allow Kakashi to take him as well on a training trip? Seeing that Kakashi is the only one here with the Sharingan to teach him. As Kakashi looked at Naruto. That is a good idea, he said. As he looked at Sarutobi. Well, Sasuke, what do you think? If it's gonna help me get stronger. Of course, Sasuke said. Well then, it seems that the preparations haven't already been made. But, before you go, Jiraiya, I want to send you out on a mission. As he looked at the other three in the room. As you all know, I'm getting old. Past events have shown me that a lot. And I think it's time that I finally step down. Wait, you're retiring? Asked Kakashi. Yeah, said Sarutobi. And who's gonna become the next Hokage? Asked Sasuke. Oh, we already know that, said Naruto. It's me, isn't it? As Sarutobi looked at Naruto, before chuckling a bit. Well, my boy, you certainly have the deeds to become Hokage, but you're not yet ready. Give it a couple more years, and I'm sure that your face will be up there with all of the greats, he said. As Naruto simply smiled. Well, it was a journey, he said. You're speaking like I'm dying or something, said Sarutobi. Well, after this you're gonna be going to an old home, right? I mean, you are an old man, said Naruto. I'm not that old, said Sarutobi. I can still do things for myself. As he turned back towards Jiraiya. I know you won't take the job. And plus you have other things to do. As Jiraiya shrugged it off. Paperwork and all that, that is not for me, he said. Peeping on girl is, said Naruto. As Jiraiya simply smiled, not even hiding the fact. So I want you to find her. Her? Said Kakashi. Tsunade. Do you really think that she will come back here, Jiraiya asks. That is what I'm counting on you for. Well then, give me the kid then. Huh? Yeah, I'll take him with me. I think he will be a great inspiration to get her to come back here. How so, asked Sarutobi. Don't know yet, said Jiraiya. But you will help a lot. Alright. Well then, until further notice this training trip has been postponed. Once Jiraiya returns back, you two will go off with your senseis and go on this training trip. Is everyone in agreement? As all of them nodded. Alright, you all are dismissed. So, when are we gonna leave, Naruto asks. Well, get yourself ready in an hour and meet me at the main gate. Alright, said Naruto to start to walk away. Oh. Erosenin, he said. What, Jiraiya asks. You know I won the bet, right? I almost forgot about that, Jiraiya said. Hey Kakashi, how did he do? Well, he won. Well, I will need more details, said Jiraiya. So I know you're not lying or something. Well, I kind of walked in on the both of them kissing. Huh? What kind of kiss was it? Well, trust me, said Kakashi, it was a normal kiss. As Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Is this about Koyuki? So, you planned that for us to walk in on you? Yeah, it was kind of a bet, said Naruto. What kind of bet? Asked Sasuke. Something you're not big enough for, Naruto asked. What do you mean by that, said Sasuke. Well, how are you gonna repopulate your clan, Naruto asked. Sasuke grunted. You see, if you can't answer that question, then I'm not gonna tell you. Fine, said Jiraiya as he listened to Kakashi. So kid, what do you want? I'll tell you when I'm ready, Naruto said, but just know, you owe me. As he started to walk out with Sasuke. So Sasuke, how exactly are you gonna repopulate your clan, he asked. Sasuke didn't answer. Come on. If you answer that question, I'll tell you what bet I made. And you already know the answer, right? The answer is you have to be with a girl and sleep with them. I mean, Sakura is always over you. Naruto opened the door. You can sleep with Sakura, he said. Sakura's eyes went wide. What's going on? What are you talking about, Naruto Baka, she said. Oh, I'm just cheering you on, Sakura. You don't have to call me an idiot because of that. I am just telling Sasuke that he can go ahead and sleep with you, so the both of you can be together. Really? She said. Yes. So, be nicer to me from now on, okay? I'm gonna help you to be with Sasuke. And if you don't, you know that Sasuke kind of like Haku, right? Haku? What are you talking about, she said. Oh, you know that girl that has the ice release? That we met at the Hidden Wave, right? Sasuke was talking with her, and the both of them seemed to hit it off rather nicely. I wonder, did I saw the both of you kiss before she leaves, Sasuke? What are you talking about, Sasuke asked. Oh, I guess I'm mistaken. Or was it the other girl that you kissed? Sakura started to turn red, as Naruto simply walked off laughing. Time skip, as Naruto made his way home. As he came through the gate and went up towards the door. As he opened the door, as he could smell food. Naruto, said a voice. Yeah, said Naruto. As he heard a sigh, finally you're back. As he saw Yujiro, she looked rather happy. He thought that she was going to be pissed. Well, about the bounty thing. But it seems like she doesn't know yet. About the bounty that was on his head. But he shrugged it off. You seem happy, Naruto said. And what's that smell, he asked. Oh, I'm cooking, she said. This time of day, he asked. Yes, she said, that smile on her face. Hey, why are you so happy? As Naruto walked to see Uncle sitting down in the living room, as he was watching TV, and munching on a bag of... Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing, Naruto asked. As Uncle looked at him. What's the problem, kid, she said. Those are mine. I told you that. I told you that especially, that those are mine and I really love that flavor. And that you could pick all the other flavors, but you went for that one specifically. Tell me, why did you do that, Naruto asked. Oh, I like this flavor as well, said Uncle. Cry about it, she said. Huh. As Naruto started to laugh. Are you okay? Yujiro asked. I'm just wondering. She's in my house eating my food and telling me to cry about it. Sometimes your attitude really surprised me, Uncle. As he just walked by her. I'm gonna make you regret this. A lot, he said. Oh, and what are you gonna do, she said. As he stepped forward. Do you really want to know what I'm gonna do? Oh yes, she said. She stepped forward as well. Can you two quit it already, said Yujiro. As Naruto turned and started to walk away. Naruto, wait, she said. What's wrong, Naruto asked. We have news, said a voice. As Naruto turned. Oh, you're back as well, Naruto says. He looked at Hayate. What about that cough? I got the treatment done, said Hayate. Not even coughing once. Huh, they fixed you. For a moment there I thought you were going to die. Really, said Hayate. Yeah, said Naruto. Hey, why are you two smiling so much? We have news, said Yujiro. As she took a deep breath in and out. What's wrong, said Naruto. What the hell did both of you do? Or what did you do, Uncle? As he saw Uncle smile at him as well. I am pregnant, she said. As Naruto looked at Yujiro. What? I'm pregnant, she said. As he started to walk off. As she blinked. Didn't you hear me? She said. Of course I did. And that baby is not staying here. What? She said. She stepped forward. I told you I'm pregnant. And the first thing you said is that that baby is not staying here? Yes. Because babies poop. And they cry. A lot. So that baby is not staying here, he said. As she raised her hand. But Naruto hugged her before she could do anything. I'm just kidding, he said. I'm happy for you, he said. As she smiled, she couldn't help the tears that were coming out of her eyes. As Naruto knew that they always wanted to start a family. He was incredibly happy for her. Huh, this is the perfect time, said Naruto. Perfect time for what? She asked, breaking the hug. Oh, I'm going on a training trip with Jiraiya. For 3 years. What? You're leaving? She said. For that long, said Uncle. Yeah, said Naruto. As he smiled. What's so funny, asked Hayate. Well, you see, Yujiro is already angry. And, yeah, and you see that pheromone mixed with her being pregnant is gonna make her even worse. What do you mean by that? She asks. Oh, I just feel sorry for you, Hayate. It's because she's gonna be well, kind of a bitch. And you're gonna be the one to deal with that. So yeah, see ya. And with that, Naruto simply ran upstairs, leaving Hayate behind. As he thought about it now. Are you having second thoughts? She asked, with a sweet tone. Of course not, he said. As he was wondering, the kid was right. She was always getting angry rather easily when he did the slightest things, like put the plates in the sink on the wrong side. So, when she become pregnant, it's gonna be morning sickness. And, mother of God, he thought to himself, as Uncle saw a look on his face and burst out laughing. Huh, I'm gonna miss the kid though, she said. As Naruto then came back downstairs after a few minutes. Hey, we'll talk before anything. Right now I have to go help Jiraiya with a mission. I'll be back soon, Naruto said. I promise, we'll talk, okay? As Yujiro nodded, and with that he headed off. As she smiled, she knew that he was happy for her. She was happy as well. And in her mind, Naruto was going to be a bigger brother. Yes, he was going to be a bigger brother. And she knew that he would love this baby and take care of it as well. And she would be there as this kid's mother to make sure that baby has everything that they need. And Hayate would be there as well. They would be one big loving family. And Uncle. Yes. But Uncle cannot get anywhere near the kid. Around the kid early age. Because kids took after people. And UJ doesn't want her baby to be, well, not saying anything bad about Uncle, but she doesn't want her baby to be like Uncle. She can talk to her when she's a bit older. As she chuckled to herself. Already thinking like a protective mother, she thought. Besides, Uncle is not that bad. Hey, where the hell is my soda? Uncle asked. I placed it in here earlier to get cool. I know it's gone, she said, looking in the fridge. What the hell is going on? She cursed as she started to curse up a storm. As Yujiro's sweat dropped. Time skip. As Naruto arrived at the gate. You finally made it, Jiraiya said. I was thinking that I would have to come for you myself. Nah, I'm here. So what do you say we head out and find your big-breasted teammate? Huh, if she hear you say that, she will probably kill you. You think so? Naruto asked. Yeah, she acts that way. Maybe towards you because you're an old pervert, said Naruto. But I'm sure that she won't do me anything. Huh, well then, I beg you to say that in front of her. Say, hello big-breasted lady, and see what she does to you. As Jiraiya rubbed his chest. Huh, she hit you there, you're remembering about that hit, huh? As Jiraiya glared at Naruto. Just come on, he said, as the both of them left the village. But guys, be end episode right here. If you want to part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn bell notifications stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends and social media platform. Bye for now. See you guys soon. Peace.